Look at our adorable daughter doing war crimes and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's kind of crazy to think about that, like, the show's basically just like, all right, guys, suddenly new characters,
Yep.
which actually might not all be really that new, if you think about it, because
Well,
we might have maybe seen them before.
Well, we saw Gabby in the end credits of season 3.
The end credits of season 3. Yeah. That was one of the things I went back and checked after watching the premiere. I was like, wait a minute.
You seem somewhat familiar. Have I threatened you before?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, hold up a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up a minute. The Attack on Titan addiction is real. It is,
It
y'all.
is.
Welcome
It really is.
to the podcast where we discuss the thing that we discussed yesterday.
This is podcast number 161.
Because we like it
Yeah.
a lot.
In case you haven't been able to tell,
Just a little bit.
we do enjoy it a wee bit.
A wee boot. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I think.
I can't
I'm
believe
not
I set you up
Canadian,
for
so
that
I
one.
can't fully commit to it.
Oh my god.
But hey, lots of new follows coming in here. Let's shout them out. Kataka, Epic Games, Bereal, King Gilgamesh, Solvio, Hunter, Arc Strider, Mach 8024, Adamion 94, Sindakel, Bordis, Mion Rao, Wanted 3, and a Hydrate Reminder. Thank you. We actually did that off stream. Randyman 0123. Thank you all. Ah, yes,
Oh,
we are all
boy.
wits.
Yep.
We are all wits, it
Indeed.
seems. Yes.
Yep.
What was funny was when we did the discussion bit, Jacob and I hadn't, talked about like any of that stuff. So it was just a thing where we were like, what should be a word, a phrase, or something.
Yep.
And the funny thing is that it's like I don't even remember what we actually like settled on. There were so many that were thrown out there.
What for? No, it was Warriors in Training. Or wait, for what?
The thing that they were supposed to like put in the comments or something like that.
Yes, it was like thank you Mappa or something like that.
Yeah, I remember like three others in addition to that. It was crazy. Crazy.
There was
What an
definitely a
episode.
lot of planning as far as what we discussed in the discussion, as you could tell from looking at it.
Right.
It was a very meticulous effort, carefully measured out and planned.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Thank You, Mappa? Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. You guys rewatching the opening, question mark? Yes, actually. I am loving the ominous anthem of the Lollipop Guild. Also, Caleb, no puns. No. Oh. Okay. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Wait, is that coming from Ameju?
It is.
Ameju, you
It
are
is.
not one to talk. You are not one to talk.
That is a good point.
That is unacceptable.
But yeah,
Unacceptable.
we've got a very different OP than usual. One, it's not spoilery, which I really appreciate.
Thank you.
But it also is very colorful.
Thank you, Mappa.
Well, yes.
There's a lot of things to say thank you, Mappa, for. Like, let's go down the list. Real
Reiner,
quick here.
obviously.
Like, Jacob, adaptation-wise, thank you, Mappa?
I mean, yes.
Like, thank you, Mappa?
Yes.
Okay, adaptation. Sweet. Overall, like, visuals, like, just
Absolutely.
absolutely thank you, Mappa.
The thing where the visuals I would say are potentially the weakest is in the OP because the color scheme, like all the different colors, I get what they're doing with it and I like it, but it's also a lot. So
Gotcha.
I don't know. Like, yeah. I'm not sure how the OP will sit with me as time goes on.
The OP for me fits really well with the ED that they chose. I feel like
Yes,
those
I do
two in
love the
combination
ED.
together
Yeah.
work really well, even though they're by different people and stuff like that. It just worked really well.
Yeah.
The next thing is, I would say, just in general, the fact that this is an opening episode to a season, so there's certain like
Almost the whole new show.
unspoken rules, about anime and stuff that the premiere episode for an action kind of political drama thriller has to be, a big, episode. It has to be a big deal. So like episode 1, boom, grim reminder. Season 2,
Right.
it talks.
Yeah.
Season 3, episode 1, like
well, someone,
It was
well,
betrayal.
humans versus humans.
Yeah,
and-
humans on humans. Yo,
Yeah.
Levi.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and then season 3, part 2, episode 1.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I don't think there's much that needs to be said about part 2 of season 3.
Right. But think about this episode just as an episode of an anime, not of Attack on Titan, but just as an episode of an anime, just a show. I would watch 100 episodes of this series, whatever this is.
And
I would watch it.
I am very glad that you think that because I know a lot of people were a bit upset at this part in the manga, and I was one of them myself. I was a little bit jarred because it's like,
Okay,
well, hold
upset
on.
or worried? Because I understand worried. Upset
okay.
feels a little weird.
Not okay. Upset. That feels like it feels too actively disliking.
Gotcha.
It's more of just it's the transition of the fact that we are in a whole new story right now.
Right.
Like that's
And
like
Yeah,
we
it
are
is
in
jarring.
Attack on Titan 2.0.
it is jarring, but we were literally exposition dumped for about 21 minutes
Yep.
in episode 20.
Right.
We had the basement fully gotten into.
Right, and
we
it's-
had
yeah.
a whole bunch of other things set up, and then we recontextualized the entire conflict around the idea that Aaron is like, well, kind of vaguely saying, if we kill everyone over there, or what's the line? Say it. You know it by heart.
Hey, if we kill everyone over there, then will we finally be free?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
it's that ambiguity in the saying, hey, if we kill everyone
Over there, a very general-
So he said everyone and over there, which is
So just
like
everyone not here.
so not us.
Right.
Oh yeah, all the good
Everyone
Eldians
that's
will
not
be left.
on this island.
Yeah. Remember Gavi? All the good
yeah.
Eldians will be left.
Oh yeah. Like it's one of those things where this is one of the reasons why I appreciate this adaptation so much because one, getting episodes week to week, even though we have to wait a long time for say this season,
Right.
is vastly preferable to waiting month to month for chapters that don't even have the cast that you've come
Gotcha.
to know and love, right?
Right.
Even though the story and all that stuff is really, really
That's
good.
a good point.
So the fact that we were able to get it like this, I'm so glad for. Also, all this little attention to detail to make sure that those connections and stuff to the main cast and like what's really going on here,
Yeah.
they land, right? Like and I don't know what it is necessarily for people in general on watching this. Maybe we have a different experience because we're reacting to it. So there's
Sure.
a lot more focus being put into the details of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think that there's a bit of energy that we're making sure that we're giving this our undivided attention, and thus, we absorb everything that we're meant to absorb. I think that the idea of these characters being aggressively introduced in a conflict that puts them immediately into our sympathies for the most part because they seem so small amidst this massive conflict.
Right.
Even though they're supposed to be basically, warriors in training, little wits, you know.
Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
and then, the discussion we had, just surrounding the idea of, oh right, this is what Reiner and Bertolt must have went through.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Reiner turning into a soldier rather than a warrior, and Bertolt having to remind him
Mm-hmm. You're a
apparently
warrior.
constantly.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yep.
oh, the pain,
Right.
my
The-
child.
It's
My
something
boy.
where Attack on Titan as a show is really dark at some points, like
Yeah.
sometimes
Without having to
it's-
show it too. Sometimes.
right, because sometimes like even in season 1, yes, it did have Titans eating people, but it didn't even actually show the Titans eating people very much. It would just show like spurts of blood or things like that.
Actually,
But-
that was probably one of the things that made me actually comfortable sharing with a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
I know a lot of people really, really didn't like the amount of violence, but it
it
was the fact that,
was for the most part pretty heavily censored.
yeah, for the most part, it was just blood sprays, and then the most actually horrific stuff was more about the despair that the humans would go through.
Exactly.
And they would
Yep.
like willingly die or try to resuscitate the heart
of someone who's been
someone who's
chopped
already
in
been
half.
chopped in half,
Yeah,
or
yeah. Yep.
putting the rifle in his mouth,
Right, all that kind of stuff
That
was where
stuff.
the dark stuff really came from. So
Uh-huh.
the fact that now we're going to this new world,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the dark aspects were what were really, I feel like, helped highlight that sort of optimism that Aaron and Armin had at the beginning that made them stand out as characters and made me want to root for them, but also made me invested in the overall world conflict, right? Because humanity shouldn't be, kept in walls like cattle, right?
Seriously.
That there's something wrong with that.
There
So
is.
now we get to see these characters who are in the place where we're thinking we should hate these people, right?
Yep.
They're the ones that sent Reiner and Annie and Bertolt over and killed so many people.
Yeah.
And yet, oh, wait, hold on. They're in situations of their own that are really messed up, and wouldn't that be great if we could save them from that somehow?
That's where I think the show is starting to get into the more mature angle of making you, the viewer, kind of question who you're rooting for and why are you rooting for them? Are you just rooting for them because they're kids?
Right.
And that's the thing that the whole idea of the Eldians and the Marlians is really also kind of messed up, is that we are already starting to, by the way they're framing this episode, and we're going to get into like actual like showing you like screenshots and things like that.
Yeah, to go
through
really into detail.
But they bring up the idea that there's so much grouping in how they've even subdivided each other, not just Eldians, but Eldians and Marlians, to the point where it's a really it's a world where it could be easy for us to start pointing at the groups individually and go, here's a good group and this is a bad group. And it's like, no, they're all people.
Yeah.
They're all people, and a lot of people are, doing worse things than others, but it all ultimately comes down to the fact that these are human beings, and the kind of shit they're going to be wading through is not just, so black and white. Yeah.
So I'm going to make a comparison here to zombie stories, right? Like zombie apocalypse kind of stories, because that was, what Attack on Titan very much felt like to me at the beginning of the story. But it also helps highlight an issue that's often not addressed in narratives, I feel like, action-heavy narratives,
Yeah.
And that's the idea of killing, right?
Oh, right.
Because if you're fighting, then unless you're doing some kind of like cartoonish sort of like I punch you, you punch me, both really hard, who's stronger kind of a thing, then you're killing people. You are at best inflicting violence, but most likely, you're just straight up killing people. And it's often not really addressed. And this is done in different ways. In say Star Wars, for instance, it's we're fighting droids, or they're all in like uniform armor, so that way they don't feel like people, know, which has narrative effectiveness in certain areas and things like that. But in zombie stories, they do it with the zombies. And it's these are people, but they're not people anymore.
Gotcha.
But the zombie stories always end up gravitating towards the actual people that aren't people anymore.
Right.
Or are they?
Well, that's where the themes have to hit, is how do we as humans react to conflict.
Yep.
And zombie stories are a good way to do that because it brings out the inhumane aspects of that whole conflict. So we've got a dynamic here that's going to work really well, guys. I saw one of you saying things like, "Oh, Jacob should be the only one reading chat." Don't worry.
Yeah.
Jacob is the one primarily reading
on the job.
chat. I am going to be basically the episode guide person, and I'll be flipping the little capture bit that we have for the episode on and off. There will be no audio for the stuff that we're referencing there, so we should be completely good. We will be showing basically not even moving, not even playing little aspects of the episode.
Just
so a
still
screenshot
frames.
here and there, and
Yep.
we'll go over it and stuff. First things first, we got to go over that OP because it is probably the thing that is the most disconnected and full of little things that we could draw and infer from if we wanted to. But, this is Semblance of Sanity, so we're going to.
Right. One of the things that I love about this OP so much is that it really heavily leans into the thematic side of things and things that you're thinking, okay, is this actually communicating concrete information, like all the explosions and things like that? It's like, is this showing wars that have happened in this world that we just weren't privy to because we were on Paradise? Or is it just talking about the, barbaric tendencies of humanity to kill each other.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So this OP starts off, I would say, in more or less a way that's rather eerie. The sound is just a bit just off-putting. Not just off, but it is off-putting. And I've been informed that this is the people that did the season 2 ED. And
Yes.
that ED is probably the creepiest thing
Yep.
in all of Attack on Titan.
And
It
as far as
it depicts full-on like cannibalism
right.
and just
Yep.
insanity.
Right. You
Yeah.
have well and oh no, that's right. I always get the season 2 ED and the season 2 OP mixed up.
Yeah.
Or not mixed up, but like mashed into one thing because the, OP also had the flying whales and
Right.
things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that ED, that was a
Yeah, that was a trip.
that was a whack ED.
Yeah. Okay, so with this being the eerie one, and we already had a little bit of episode before actually getting the OP, let's quickly go to one of my favorite little bits in this episode here. So we get a bit of explosions, the psychedelic colors. Everything looks like this is just war. It's war, it's madness, it's chaotic, it's messy.
In some ways you could say it's beautiful, but it's horrific.
Right. And it's even looping on itself.
Sure, like the flamethrower, yeah.
So I want to bring up the idea of something that I am just common to do in these types of setups here. I'm gonna go way too into this.
All right.
What has been one of the things that the paths, Eren, the general world building has been setting up? The idea of all this just repeating over and over and over again. And the OP is basically just showing us little acts of human terror, big booms.
Right. And regardless of
repeating
how
them.
the whole paths things work, that cycle of violence. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yep.
Right?
And what did they basically set up in this very first episode is that this is another group of hopeful young kids that believe they're doing the right thing wholeheartedly. Well, not wholeheartedly. Some of them are already starting to show little bits of doubt.
Yeah.
But then again, we're kind of jumping into their lives after they've already been, kind of through
had an
quite a
established
bit.
history and
Yeah, exactly. So seeing this kind of repetition, and then also, having Falco be the one that's literally kind of having some kind of, odd paths connection.
Yeah, some kind of like, because leaving paths aside, it's the idea of he's finally looking at this thing that he probably signed up for and being like, oh my god, what is this I'm experiencing? This is this is hell, right? Like what's going on here? And yet then everyone else is looking at him like he's crazy. Like what are you talking about? Snap out of it. Get back to the real world, to the present here and now. Let's get back to the killing.
Yep. And then we get to probably one of my this one I could talk about for a bit.
Yeah.
But we got the birds.
Yep.
Falling. Trailing with the smoke. Yeah. Yeah. This is quite pointed.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, so which one do you want to talk about first?
Which one? What do you mean? Which
Well,
one?
okay, so there's the fact that it's just the idea of, in something like this, you would expect it's because of chemical weapons or things like that, right?
I'm not taking this literally at all.
Right. But then there's the whole idea of what are birds constantly about in Attack on Titan,
Well,
right?
there's literally, it opens the first episode of season 4 with a bird.
Oh, yeah.
Being focused on his
and
Falco's
the-
like, go, fly away.
In the
get outta
first
here."
episode of season 1, it started with a bird, or maybe not at the very, very beginning, but very soon after.
Well, right after he wakes up, the bird's like,
Right.
fly away.
Yeah, like the birds have always been freedom, basically,
Yes.
in Attack on Titan.
Wings of Liberty.
Yeah. The desire of the human spirit to explore and see what's out there,
They're
right?
the things that can go beyond the walls, too.
Right, the things that can change. Like birds migrate.
Yeah.
When times change and a place isn't hospitable anymore, they go somewhere else, right?
Yeah. But
Well-
we can't do that.
But we can't do that. And here we see the birds, just all of them falling
Yep.
dead.
And I think these are basically an homage to a couple things. It could be an homage to the Warriors, and that they're all destined to die.
Sure.
Just ultimately. Well, one, also, if you are a warrior,
You are destined,
you are destined
to
to
die.
die.
Yep, they're training to eat Reiner.
So that
Like,
they can then
Have
pick
13
up-
good years.
Yeah, pick up. Well, good. That's a subjective, very subjective way of looking at it.
Yep.
They're going to have a specific allotment of time upon which they will be enacting the will of whoever decides they should do what they're going to do as a Titan shifter. So
Yep.
there is that. And this is just the heartbreaking eeriness of it, is that I don't know what it is about birds specifically, but birds are either seen as a sign of a bad omen in a lot of myth and stuff.
Oh,
that
like the
they're-
crow or something like that?
Yeah, that there's something that is to be feared. They are carrion. They
Sure, yeah.
they feed on the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, guys. I'm just saying. But then
Oh, boy.
also with the idea that if you looked at them very lightly here, the way they tried to make sure they intentionally showed like their feet and their tails kind of going off in this way, you could almost like blink and think these were like little flying, falling little
Oh,
angels.
they're just
or,
diving. Yeah.
yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all good. They're gonna
everything's-
spread their wings at the last minute. It'll be just
Exactly.
fine.
Everything's fine here, right?
And you know what? What if the birds didn't even realize they were dead? What if the birds thought they were just in a magnificent dive until, oh shit, it's too late, right?
It's
like
too late.
The other thing that this makes me
Too
think of
late.
is, and maybe, and this is I know this is a bit of a stretch, right? But Icarus, right? You know, mythology,
Sure.
flying too close to the sun. Now, there's nothing about here that references Greek mythology and all that stuff and the sun and everything, but the idea that like Aaron is the main character, right? If there were to be anyone who's had that notion of like too close to the sun kind of a thing, it would probably be Aaron with, his dreams at the beginning and how he's sort of gotten a bit more like just weary over the course of the show, right? But in the same way that this is, a cycle, all of this has happened before, all of it will happen again. Aaron's not the only one who has dreams, right? Gabby and the others, they've got dreams. The kids that Aaron, Armin, and Mikasa saw when they were facing the Turkey Titan, they had dreams. All of this stuff is just, the world keeps turning. People keep dying. Doesn't mean anything.
Oh. So, this continues. They fall. Clouds billow out. It's kind of a storm, and then we get the yes. But this is the gray, lifeless image here of what these birds have to look forward to. War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raised up like cattle to slaughter. I really do think that like people who like go back and rewatch season 1 realize how difficult it must have been going through all these complicated little plottings of things like within season 3 and 2 and stuff to make sure that the themes of this show keep coming back to the things that were introduced in the very, very, very beginning and are also prevalent throughout the show. It's a show that I would say that struggles at times to find consistency in its theming at times, but for the most part, with its core introduced themes in the very beginning of the show,
it is very consistent.
it is
and whether
very consistent.
and even if the themes take on different forms, like because if I recall correctly, how this works is that there's the themes, which is the general ideas, and then there's the motifs, which are the specific ways that those ideas are expressed, right?
Yeah.
So like the birds might be a motif, right?
Yeah.
To touch on the theme of freedom, for instance.
Sure.
But then here, cattle raised for the slaughter.
Yep.
That's a
They're
theme.
identical,
But
they're all
this
like
is-
eerily facing us with just this blank expression
Yep.
of no eyes.
Yeah.
They're already dead.
Like this is one that
There's
feels
no
a
color
lot.
here either.
Right. No color here. Plenty of color in war, but not here. And because I feel like with Attack on Titan, because the world is so crazy, especially like in the earlier parts where it's very easy to sort of remove it from our world, right? Because you've got Titans and things like that.
Seriously.
the commentary that happens, there's enough indirection that it doesn't really feel like commentary. I feel like it tends to take on more of the tone of like just really heavy writing, you know. But then
Yeah.
you get stuff like this and it's like, oh no, that
Yeah.
I see.
Lovely.
That has a lot more parallel connections to our world. All right.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
We're humans too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we get into more of the psychedelic kind of crazy stuff here. And this is the part that I realized that the birds thing was very much an intentional bit here.
Uh-huh.
And this gets a little creepy.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
just a little.
Just a little bit.
Mhm.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had any doubts about the whole raised for slaughter kind of thing here, this is probably the thing that makes Titans as a design so genius. So, one of the things that I think we've all kind of agreed at points when the show does it is that Titans will surprise you with how creepy they can be. And it's not that they're always scary or always creepy, because there's this familiarity in them. Like,
Yeah.
just you're like, oh, that is a giant human with
a penis head or something.
no genitalia or anything like
Right,
that.
right.
Pretty basic kind of thing there. But, and you realize, you're like, wait a minute. Like,
Hold on.
hold on.
Yeah.
These are basically all like just mute, dumb babies running around, acting on their basic survival instinct. And yet they have these unnaturally large bodies with their strength and their desire to, cannibalize other humans and consume.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there
Yeah.
are a few things in this image that I want to point out. One, so it's the escalation from birds to people, right? If you have a bunch of birds falling over dead, yes, that's sad, but having a bunch of babies falling from the sky, that's a little bit more. But also, yes, there's the whole idea of we get this in the OP, and then in the first episode, we have Titans getting dropped from ships, right?
Yes.
So it gives it a more sort of concrete, like, relevance. Immediate relevance.
If you wanted to look at
to
it
the
that
show,
way.
right? If you
Yeah.
wanted to look at it that way.
Yeah.
But here's another way of looking at it. Birds of freedom. What are children?
Yeah.
Children of the future, right? It's the idea that there's something beyond just this present state.
Yeah,
Right?
we will all die eventually. But
Exactly.
there will be others that will go beyond us.
Yep. And
Yeah.
even if, say, we become jaded or, stultified or whatever, reach our own limits, the next generation can use our ceiling as their floor, go on to the next stage, right?
Yeah.
But what about if there are no children?
What about if we
Like-
continue to not learn about the
Exactly.
horrors of
Yep.
committing violence against each other?
Right. And that's what
Do
this
we deserve to keep going?
Sure, or will
Yeah.
we keep
Will
going?
we?
You
Yeah.
know, what does that even look like? Is that truly even, a real existence at that point? Compared to
Seriously.
what we're used to, right? And whether you're talking about the literal sense of, the owl telling Grisha, you need to save, Armin and Mikasa and Eren and all them, right? And it's like, okay, must be some kind of loop that needs to be broken, or just in our real world, even if it's not literally that kind of stuff happening. The cycles of violence like this do need to be stopped, don't they?
Yeah. And then the lyrics start to click in here. Destruction, regeneration. You are the real enemy. War. My war.
Yeah.
And it gets freaky, y'all. This is the kind of stuff where I'm like, yes, I see. This was ultimately the show I was watching, like all along.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
it is something that's kind of a fine line to walk, and that's that when you have a show that has like really strong messages in it that are kind of meant to be somewhat taken in by the audience and pulled out of the,
of the
pulled out
immediate fantastical narrative.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's hard to transition gradually into that. Because
Right.
sometimes you have to make it either really apparent at the beginning that that was the lesson all along, but you still have to gradually ease into your message so that people still are immersed in your story and they're not pulled out of
Right.
it. But it's the kind of thing where Attack on Titan, I think since the beginning, kind of told us what like the core themes were, and it's just slowly but surely they've been pulling away the illusion that it's only about Titans and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, is there something you need to delete?
Yeah, hold on just a sec.
Just tell me, like, don't look at chat or something like that. Because
Sure.
basically, guys, what I'm doing here is Jacob is acting as a moderator and stuff. So if you do end up posting anything of that nature, he has supreme executive power.
Exactly.
And you will get Usopp's hammered. And yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, the show was built upon the idea that there was this war that had gone on for longer than anyone could feasibly remember, because it surpassed their own lifespans.
Yep.
And it was against this unknowable enemy, this unbeatable enemy that will just constantly come at us. And you had a little child who started to basically dream, but also rage against the idea that this cramped space of living in this just
farm
way of-
almost.
yeah, farm basically.
Yeah.
Was like I cannot continue.
And
This cannot continue.
right. And one of the things that I love about that whole setup is that we end up getting context. You know, with people like Uri and the founding Titan and all of that stuff. So there's a reason why they're in this situation, right?
Yeah.
The past generation set this up for the good of everyone, right? And it served a purpose. It helped. These people would be in concentration camps without it, right?
Yeah.
And yet there came a point where a little boy looked at it and said, you know, even if it's hell out there, I'll take that over this.
Yep.
Because I need to know what's out there.
Yeah.
I can't stay here forever, right? That's the classic coming of age story, like, you know, good hero's journey stuff that we long for, right? Because we would hope that when we see things like that in our own lives, even if it's not as obvious as being trapped in a 3-walled city with man-eating monsters on the outside, that we would be able to make those kinds of decisions, even if it completely tears our life apart.
Seriously.
Right? So.
And this is what it looks like sometimes. But how much is that freedom worth? Especially if it leads to this.
Yeah.
Because have you ever really thought about how to define freedom? It's something that can quite often end up encroaching upon the freedom of others if you're not careful.
There's like.
All right, then I gotta get.
The final shot of the OP.
The final shot.
Oh
of the
yeah.
OP.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
There are so many reasons why I love this shot.
This shot. Oh my god,
Like,
dude.
So
Wow.
one, yes, it shows Eren in his Titan form, and it's great, and it's visually striking, right? But then there's also layers to it, right? Eren's the main character. He's the one driving the story, so it makes sense that he's at the front. We haven't seen Titans much at all this OP. It was more focusing on the, you know, proclivities of humanity. But now we see a Titan. Cool. He's reaching out for something. Awesome. Eren is definitely that kind of character. He's the one who, you know, does the whole reaching for the sun kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But
Look at this.
he hasn't grabbed it, and he doesn't look too good.
This is
He doesn't look too good
This is not
here.
a reaching for the sun kind of thing.
This is
I am the amalgamation of a whole mess of corpses and death and destruction behind me.
and now it's been frozen as something else entirely that's rather gruesome and twisted.
Right. And it never reached, you know, regeneration. It never reached, you know, redemption or what's an even more powerful term, like just life.
Yeah.
So ultimately, one of the things that might end up being a good way that they can get more philosophical with the end of this show is that humanity is about the struggle for those invaluable things, basically,
Right.
like freedom, and it's not something that really can be fully attained.
Mhm.
It's something that we can aspire towards, but if it ends up with you basically on a mountain of corpses trying to find it, was it really worth it in the end? This is
And-
something where the friends made along the way might not be enough.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why I love Attack on Titan, because this kind of question, would it be enough? That's a question that I feel like it's very good for us to just ask of ourselves at some point and really, really deeply ask it. And it's not a comfortable question to ask, right?
No.
Or not a comfortable question to answer. Because what level of security are we okay with, and how much freedom are we willing to sacrifice for it?
Or the other way around.
How
much
how much
security
is-
are we willing to sacrifice for freedom?
for freedom? Yeah, how
That's
much is
what-
it worth to us?
That's what Aaron was basically saying. Is he's
Right.
like, these walls are great, but they don't give us anything beyond
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Yep.
And yet, Aaron was a kid, was naive, didn't know
Right.
half of what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
idealistic and black and white and everything. So it's just the no matter what the cost is, I'll join the Survey Corps.
Right, and
I'll
then you
join
get
the Survey
eaten.
Corps, and like
Yeah, and
it'll
then,
be great.
then you get eaten, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
You nearly lose Mikasa and Armin.
Yeah, and even though Aaron turns into a Titan after he gets eaten, I still love the fact that Episode 5 happens.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah. Oh
that
my
that
god,
hard smackdown.
seriously.
Because without that, the cost doesn't mean anything. There is no cost,
Well, I
even
mean,
though he
I think his,
turned into
I
a
think
Titan
his
and whatnot.
cost got pushed back. He's now starting to see the cost being a
Exactly.
much more gradual thing.
Yep. And
All right, so let's go into more happy stuff for a little bit. Kids,
happy stuff.
kid soldiers in trenches, y'all.
Yeah, that'll put a smile on your face.
Let's go back to the beginning though to get ourselves kind of a little bit acquainted with them here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got ourselves a good boy getting saved by another pretty good boy here.
Mm-hmm.
I freaking love this bit here, and we'll just put it like this here because you guys know the part where before this he's reaching up to the sky and stuff like that.
Yep.
Colt and Falco, I love the both of them. Colt gives me like Reiner vibes in that he's saving the little one. He's rushing in.
He's the bro, the defender.
He feels like a soldier. He feels like
Yeah.
the one who's like, I will give my life for
Right,
someone
the
else.
kind of person that you would be happy to be a soldier. Like,
Yes,
like,
with
like, it,
your,
right.
Your brother in arms would be Colt here, and you'd be like, yes, absolutely, he's my
and,
brother.
And
yeah.
you would also hope that if you were going to give someone a gun, that it would be someone like this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Falco though having just this moment here that's just crazy. But I think it's a cool way in which Colt is not fully introduced. I feel like this episode.
No.
It feels like the other kids get more focus, whereas we
Yeah,
just
he takes
know,
more of a backseat.
We just know why Colt is here, not really who
Right.
he is.
He's
as much.
supposed to inherit the Beast Titan, and that he is at a different stage of his training, basically, than the rest of them. So he's sort of the intermediary between them and Magath.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like that his only real thing we get about his character is him saving Falco here.
Yep.
And I love it because he tosses the body over the trench, basically, like right here. Let's bring this up here. He basically tosses him over here and gets over after Falco.
Right.
It's kind of a
Exactly.
thing of him saying
He's
he
a good
would
man.
give his life for someone else.
And
in
the fact
regard
that
here.
our first introduction to Marley, the people who last we saw were doing concentration camps and turning people into Titans and kicking them off of a wall because they...
These are all
you know-
Eldians, though, Jacob.
Oh, no, right.
Okay,
No,
okay.
but the thing is that... But this is within the country of Marley,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So, yes, they are Eldians, that is their bloodline, but as
Right.
far as their affiliation at the
Yeah.
moment, it's with Marley.
Yeah.
And there you go. They're with the enemy force. They're some of the warriors, and yet they're looking out for each other.
Yeah. The Eldian
Okay.
Vanguard got bombed. Only a handful of us survived. And then he talks back to Magath,
Yep.
and we get to see basically that Colt cares for of course, his fellow warriors, well, soldiers probably for them. But then we have the let's introduce the characters kind of moment here.
Right.
Which I gotta say, there are two of them here of this group that stand out way more than the other two, personally, in Gabby and Falco. Just personally,
for sure. Yeah,
personally.
Right.
Sophia and Udo are.
We haven't gotten perspective with them yet.
Well, yeah, Udo has his little like psycho moment,
Right.
a bit, but these two seem like they're there to make the dynamics more dynamic, really, between the group. But it's really a Falco
Gabby
introduction.
Yep.
With the two of them being essentially the only ones I would say that are really on the table for being replacements for Reiner.
Yeah, they're certainly the ones that we actually are connected to the most so far.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, this scene is basically the Eren being waked up by Mikasa, right? So you have a young boy, who is sleeping, all propped up, resting up against something, and then people wake him up, and there's a girl there. Then there's the other two characters that don't really get focused. Whatever, they're ancillary, right? And then, oh, what happened?
Right.
Were you drunk or something? What's going on? Oh, well, I just had this I guess crazy dream.
Something.
Yeah.
I love that. Then when we use this kind of moment of him having a little bit of a memory kind of relapse of the mind and stuff, and he assumes he was flying around on ODM gear or something.
Yep.
They're like, oh, whoa. We need to explain everything from the top so that we can catch the audience up to speed on what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's a storytelling, trick to make this, actually smooth. We're smoother than it could be because we're already probably pretty confused as to like, wait, who are these characters? Why should we care about them? What's going on here? And I'm sure a lot of people, are also just like, this is pretty easy to understand. Like, this is pretty easy to clue.
We got more child soldiers. Where have we seen those before? Oh, armbands. We haven't seen those too many times, but all right.
Now, I wanted to bring up the idea that it's Gabby that is like, whoa, remember what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this because we are it's all part of the process of deciding
Final
which of us
exam.
deserves to be
New Armored Titan.
The New Armored Titan.
Yeah.
Yep. The next warrior. They all kind of have this little look of like, yeah. But I love that this is Falco's look.
He's like, oh, yeah.
It's almost like he just had reality just kind of slapped back in his face of like,
right. He doesn't like this reality that he's in.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't really want to be here.
Right.
I am not thrilled about this.
No.
Of all the characters in here, the reason why I kind of expect him to be kind of the Armin is because more Gabby is kind of the Eren. But yet, looking at this kind of little bit here, there's so many things that you could just see that they're different in that regard. See, this is awesome, Jacob. I can just look away, and you're just going.
There we go. Yeah.
Dropping the stuff. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of people have said a lot of the characters look like me. Falco, Reiner. Yeah. Especially with the time skip of the dirty blonde hair and
the dirty blonde hair.
Now Reiner's got the beard and
Yep. But there's almost a little bit of something here where you can see that he's like, oh right, like you as well. Like it was almost like a thing of where he's like looking at them, or more specifically Gabby, and it's just like, yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, think about it, right? Like Falco seems like, from what we've gotten so far, seems like one that hasn't really drank the Kool-Aid to the same degree that the rest of them have, right? What they're doing here is because of their bloodline, because of, situations, they are warrior candidates. They are child soldiers. Who knows, for what purpose it is. For, Gabby, it's the, I'll get rid of all the bad Eldians. That way it'll just be us good ones, and then we won't need to be in the concentration camps, right? But why would someone who doesn't want to be a warrior, right? You know, like that's kind of, it's kind of intense, you know? Like the fact that they're here and this is their final training, this isn't new for them.
No.
Like
probably not.
even though this is the first time we're seeing them do all this stuff, no, like look at how Gabby, you know, handled Magath. Like this is same old,
Right.
you know, asking your parent for another cookie, right? Like that's the kind of familiarity that these kids have with fighting and killing and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. So in this shot here, we get our look at this man now. This boy turned murderer, turned broken
Daddy.
warrior soldier. You okay?
Yes.
All right, okay. So, Reiner,
Yeah.
probably one of the
Oh
I
man.
don't know. Maybe I would say I like Ymir more as a character, in the broad strokes. But there's not a lot of hope that we're going to see Ymir again necessarily. So
Yeah.
in this case, Reiner still being around in the story because the plot armored Titan is quite strong, quite chonk,
Indeed.
quite bonk.
Yep.
But
even though he hasn't won a fight against the Titan in quite some time, if
well,
ever, on screen.
technically, if you count him as being one of two fighters in the Eren v Colossal Titan and Armored Titan
He had
fight,
an assist.
he technically won. He technically won. Yeah.
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 Sure.
All right. Yeah. Technically, he won. But this is to plan for the next war,
Right.
which means that this has been going on for quite a while because we know that there's been a time skip for at least a few years.
And Reiner's a great way to showcase that with his sexy new design.
Yep, exactly. So Reiner Daddy, who's probably at this point actually only about 21, I believe.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah, I believe he's around there.
He could be as young as 20, but I would guess that he's either 20 or 21 here. And given that he is like front and center early in the episode is a smart way to just show the time skip as being a thing.
Yep.
But also is basically a nice way of saying, here's something that you guys can ground yourself in.
Right. This is
You
familiar.
know this character, he's familiar, and we're going to be spending time with him. Which I am so excited for.
Oh yeah.
When we got the tree talk in season 2, and we realized, well, Ymir helped us realize kind of what was going on.
Yeah, and we
with
got
Reiner.
that flashback that wasn't there in the anime and was actually
Wasn't
from
that
like way
later?
ahead in the manga.
That was later. Pretty sure that was later.
No, that was in the trees.
No. On the talk. Not when they're zipping around or anything. I'm talking about the literal talk where it's the Reiner is yelling. No, Reiner's not saying anything. Eren's yelling at them.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's where the flashback is. I'll go back and check.
I'm
That's one of
pretty
my-
sure that's where the flashback
I have
was.
probably watched that episode more times than you, though. Just saying. Go
that
back
is-
and check. Ask chat. They'll probably know. But I'm telling you,
Okay.
of all the episodes that I've like studied, there's like 3 of them that I've gone back and watched probably about 15 to 20 times, and that's one of them because Ymir's backstory
Gotcha.
was one of the ones that was such a big
Okay.
deal there. But yeah.
Oh, it's an
Flashback
episode
is one
later?
episode later. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a thing where I did end up actually watching a couple clips of the tree talk to kind of prep myself for that whole thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Right, because that's the whole point of when Ymir's like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" You know, then
because it leads very nicely into
basically telling you what she was talking
lot.
about, as opposed to needing to wait for Historia to get her letter. That's when we got it in the manga.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
And then it was it transmitted via the connection, the little bit of the electricity jolt?
I
something
believe
like
so.
that?
I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Cool. Nice. Okay, sweet. So with this though, Reiner please don't be like down for the count or anything after you took all those hits from the battleship.
That was so awesome.
It was so badass.
That was so cool.
And I have already this like this kind of like thought in my mind that like Reiner should have died so many times before this that some battleships just that are practically off screen are he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a thing where like Zeke pulls Reinhardt's Reinhardt. I almost it's really hard.
It's easy to do.
It's really hard.
It's easy to do.
keep
A
straight.
good blonde warrior boy with deteriorating mental stability
Yep.
that's in his early 20s with a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
Yeah, thankfully.
That's also lost a close friend.
Yeah.
That was keeping him stable.
So Reiner,
Mm-hmm.
I could just totally see him being pulled out of there and being like, "Wow, you saved me again." Yeah, wow. And it's just his body's like in like like half a piece, And
Right,
it's
right.
just like, all right, well, bedtime for you.
Yeah, you'll regenerate,
for a bit.
but you know what? It's not enough to make up for all the times that you failed on Paradise. So, eeny, meeny, miny, Gabby, go.
Seriously, that's the part that makes me like really worried that next episode is going to be Reiner like deep character focus because he's gonna die.
Well,
like,
I mean,
in episode 3.
If nothing else, he is the one character that we're familiar with. Like even Zeke, we aren't actually familiar with Zeke. We've seen Zeke,
No,
but
we're not.
we don't know really who he is.
Yes,
like
Zeke-
not who he is now.
Zeke, we were more exposited to than gleaned
Exactly.
info about him
Yep.
via actual interactions.
And that is one of the things that I really appreciate about this, because not only is Reiner one of my personal favorite characters from Attack on Titan, I love that point when for the first time it's like you realize, oh no, he's really torn
He's really
up inside,
broken.
right? He is a broken person. It's like, oh man, oh yes, I am so on board for this character, right? I want to see as much of him as we can. And then when we go to this whole new cast of characters, no, still got Reiner.
Yeah.
For however long we have him.
Yeah. The shot of him here, though, almost looking like he's praying.
Yep.
And he's got the band, the band on his arm, and he just looks alone. Like, you just look at him. There's
Because he is.
He is.
Yeah.
But like,
Like the children are literally fighting over who gets to eat him.
yeah.
Like,
Just, God.
oh man.
All right. So then we go into the OP. That's the whole beginning bit there, and then they start to. Then they start to kind of humanize the kids a little bit by having them do the banter and stuff.
Yep.
While like Gabby's the one with all the accomplishments and stuff, and then
All the spunk and
Falco's like, oh, it's got nothing to do with accomplishments, Udo. Let me find that there. It's like what? Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
That's what Gabby says. It's got nothing to do with that. What sets me apart is my resolve. And then she just literally is like, yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't this remind you of Eren? I resolve to take the Eldian's future into my own hands.
Oh yeah, even the eyes, like they're
Like,
different
look at
color,
this.
but that furrowed brow and everything, like,
Hi.
yep.
This is the
My
alternate.
little child soldier can't possibly be this cute,
Right. This is the alternate not mangaka, just manga, where this was the main character.
Sure. Yeah, or sorry, Aaron's not actually the main character. He fails again, and then somehow, Gabby's the next, somehow or other.
If anything, it would be quite depressing to watch any of these kids fight Eren.
You think it'd be a fight? That's a
No. I have to call it a fight because it's a conflict of some kind. But as to whether or not they would have a chance or anything, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I mean, that's one of the things that I love about this. They introduce us to these kids, right?
Right.
And because it's like we're almost starting a whole new show, new certainly new sort of generation, location, all that stuff. There's this part where you're like, okay, and when do we get Colossal and Attack Titan? Like, just boom.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they could just be setting it up to where when,
Yep.
our crew actually is ready to attack, like,
Right.
then it's a thing of where we see it from these kids' perspective.
Right, because before this, when we see Eren be like, hey, if we kill all our
on,
enemies over there,
switch this here.
will we finally be free? It's it's easy to have the main emotion behind that be, oh, I'm sad, Aaron looks so tired, he shouldn't have to do this anymore. Not, that's not something you should do. Like that's not something that should have to happen, right? The fact that you guys are needing to potentially go to war because of, this crazy situation. No, that's not good. That's in fact quite bad.
Yeah.
And yet,
Yeah.
grenades.
This, ain't it great? I really thought that there were a couple things in this episode where the tone of voice that the voice actors were probably directed to use specifically for certain lines to make the viewer a little bit uncomfortable with the dissonance of what the imagery was. So there's one later where the Beast Titan basically talks about, like, war just sucks. And it just feels so, like, blasé and just like, yeah, war's bad. It's just like,
Oh, war's bad.
yeah. It's just like,
You probably shouldn't do it.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like,
It's generally not preferable.
it's like, duh, yes, we know that. But then you have this child here who's basically holding her little instruments of war that she's going to go use to commit a war crime with.
Yeah.
And it's just like, isn't this great? And it's just like,
And what's crazy
ah.
what's crazy is that as much as the coined phrase of the my little war criminal can't be this cute, technically I don't think that's a war crime. Maybe it is what she did, but like,
Well,
that's like, and it certainly probably isn't going to be treated as such. It's the, oh, good ingenuity, child. Yeah, good idea. I didn't
yeah,
think
I don't
you
think
would-
that's the point, really. Though.
No, I know, but it's just
You can go do the research if you want to.
Right,
Find out whether or not it
exactly.
is.
But
Again, this is also a fictional world where.
Oh, of course,
there's-
yeah.
There's some parallels. I mean, some serious parallels to our world, but
yep.
yeah, I just wanted to bring that up in that context. So then they remind us that we are in our mini war movie, and we have to figure out a way to overcome this problem.
Taking off the uniform. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So then, is it McGath?
Yes.
McGath, yeah.
Yeah.
McGath asks Colt, "What's your plan? What's your idea?" And he's just like, "Let's deploy the jaw in the cart." And it's like, oh, oh shoot,
Yeah.
like, oh my god. All right. So, like, that's a whole thing right there. We've met the cart titan before,
Yep.
and when we see it again here, it's
Yeah.
It's
not just carrying rocks.
a sight to behold. Oh my god. Just the
Oh,
idea of,
yeah.
we put a mounted bunker on it with people inside with machine guns.
Yep. Like I remember when we first got sort of the like confirmation from like the analysis of that Titan, it must be sentient like the others, and all that
Right.
stuff. I remember just thinking, reading the manga, like, really, Isayama? It's just we've seen deviant Titans. What's supposed to be special about this one? It crawls around on all fours. Oh my god, that's terrifying. Wow. I might just piss myself. And then we get stuff like this, and it's like, oh god. All right. Well then.
It has a reinforced spine that allows it to basically, like, hold extreme weights on its back or something
It's
like
just
that.
a quadruped,
It's just a
so
quadruped, yeah, exactly.
There you go. Yeah, it can
But,
brace itself against things. It's not
yeah.
top heavy and
Yeah, but hey, we've been wondering what other Titans they had. And now the Jaw Titan. So it takes a while before the Jaw Titan is actually shown. So I'm going to get back to that in a second here. But this is the other thing that this episode kind of brings up is, what's the technology like at this time?
Yes, because if Titans are things that everyone is aware of, and technology is also a thing. I mean, we saw what Paradise did with gas and steel.
Yeah, seriously.
What would people do with gunpowder and stuff like that?
And all kinds of other things like
Yeah.
steam power or whatever they have here. Do they have electricity?
Oh yeah,
I would
they've got
assume they do,
electricity. Yeah.
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 So this is some
Yeah.
crazy stuff. And then, of course, the world outside, they all know about Titans too. Like, the only people who haven't been in the know about, like, for the most part, that they're like a thing that needs to be like feared at this level because not just they're rampant zombie-like abominations going around eating everyone, but they're controlled by a
Right.
nation
Yep.
that has wills and government and all this other kind of crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
just weapons and accelerated development of technology to counteract these things. We get better and better at figuring out ways to kill each other, and but that's okay because these are titans. They're monsters.
Yeah,
It's-
150 millimeter guns. Poof. There you go. Like the fact that, because, okay, in the beginning of the show, of Attack on Titan, we see Titans and we're like, yeah, okay. And then we see cannons and they do squat.
Right.
No, we don't even see Titans actually getting killed by soldiers, I think, at all. Like, other than, like, at the very, very beginning with that shot showing up the 3D maneuver gear.
Yeah.
Basically until Mikasa starts kicking ass, right? Like, that's pretty much when it starts happening. But no. Human ingenuity has no limits. And yeah, even Reiner start blowing pieces out of him.
Jeez, yeah. Also, this little exchange between Magath and Colt is a little bit more exposition to remind us not just that there's a time skip at play, but to just in case anyone didn't get it, that there is a time skip at play, and where like Magath's knowledge about the events that we
We've experienced,
watched
right?
through season 1 especially.
Yeah. What does the first 3 seasons look like from the outsider's perspective?
Exactly.
Yep.
So we had, just like how the operation we launched 9 years ago to reclaim the founder Titan, or blew up in our faces, and we lost the Colossus and the female, and people saw Marley's military strength weaken, leading to the war we're still dealing with today. Okay, so that is a really, really big deal. Like, depending on how much into the like geopolitical drama they could go into here, I really hope they keep the focus in Marley rather than going to other nations and groups in that regard. Because it would be too much.
Right, you can't have a Reiner in every one of however many countries are across the world. Yeah.
And it can tell that they're really wanting us to connect with these kids.
Yep.
Primarily through this dramatically scary conflict and stuff.
Episode 2 is actually going to be a whole new cast of kids in another country.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But this is the part that's just, oh, whoa, the world is a lot bigger. Marley is just one nation, one empire, one faction, one group of humans. There's plenty of other ones out there. This is just like our, modern world, but like 16 or 14 or something like that.
Can you imagine this sequence here of this battle at this fortress? But if Marley was like, yeah, we didn't lose the Colossus Titan. And then Bertolt is just there too. It's like, oh yeah, no wonder the nations didn't want to go to war with Marley until after that.
But it is one of those things of where if Marley is at a place where they're either so feared because of the Titans that everyone is either like, they either hates them or is like already in some kind of conflict. It escalates into an actual full on, invasion of sorts.
They didn't look for excuses for very long, it seems.
Right.
Once the Titans went away before they were like, all right, now we're going to kill you.
Right. Right.
So
there would be, basically a constant update on like, how's the situation with those Titans? Have like any of them gone like rampant
we heard that they went on a mission. No, we probably can't because then they'd still stomp us afterwards.
Oh, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Wait.
Yeah.
They lost them?
And that's just that's all the motivation we need to basically say that humans will do human things, and here we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's some really, really interesting things they can do with that if they take it.
They lost
farther.
2 of their 7 nukes. Sweet. That sounds like an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is the part that where things got just a little a little dark here.
Oh, because they weren't dark before.
No, it just went almost a bit edgy here, but it was like, all right, I guess this is how bad it is. Is prepare the Eldian unit to attack. So I'm thinking like, oh, right, that this is what their lot in life is. You guys are conscripted forcefully to fight for Marley.
Yep.
And then there are only a few of them probably that are, really indoctrinated in the belief that
Sure.
they're a part of an evil, filthy race that needs to be, kept in check. And all of this is, this is for their own good,
Yeah.
So the fact that Colt is like, oh, hey, that's just, he was about to be like, that's just barbaric or that's just
Right.
wrong.
And he's like, well, you dare speak to me as one of your lowly race?
Right, exactly. But this just little bit here where he had been calling him Colt all the way up until now.
Right. And then it's just what, Eldian? Like
Yeah.
So there were some
Holy
things this
shit,
episode
this is
that
dark.
really made me get won over by Mappa. Yes, a lot of it was the action, but this was actually one of them too. The expression on his face right there.
Yeah.
Like that they did a really like
The art's
banger of
really
a job.
good. The art's really good.
Yeah, translating basically the images from the manga to get this, where it still communicates that so much emotion and expression in this one look, right? Because even though he was, talking to Colt, pretty decently cordially before,
Yeah.
he didn't let his orders be questioned, but decently cordially before, as well as a superior in a bad military situation like this can.
Yeah.
No, this is where it's just like, nope. You are less than. You are not human in my eyes.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to
Yep.
say, Magath is eerily close to looking like Shadis, don't you think?
Oh, Yep. No. I am totally with you on that one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that funny,
Uh-huh.
guys?
Well, yeah. There's 3 characters in Attack on Titan where it's just like same face for me. Magath, Shadis, and then the guy that almost shot Armin and Aaron with a cannon.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Eh.
I always saw him as being like Shadis, but with like facial hair. And then there's Magath. Yeah, sunken
Gotcha.
eyes and
Gotcha.
very scary look.
Yeah. But oh boy. Yeah, gotta deal with that. Your warriors who swear allegiance to Marley, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
And he has that like, all right. And this is the whole thing of war right here, where you're like, lovely,
Glory.
glory, God,
Go
that is-
die.
Yeah, go die for a
Like- Because
a country that's enslaved your entire people.
when Levi says it to Erwin of go die, right?
Yeah,
There's enough gravitas to the fact that he understands what he's saying and that they're incredibly close friends, right?
And also, Erwin chose to be in some ways a servant of humanity,
Right.
and would gladly give up his heart for that. And then as he started realizing his death was coming, he realized, I'm actually a little bit more selfish than I thought.
Right.
I would really like to see what's in the basement.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
Levi's like, no, go die. And he's like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
And then he does, right? But no, this is some dude being like, oh yeah, you people that, I won't even deign to call by name because you're, so beneath me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just send 800 of them to die,
Yeah. God. Oh, wow. But then,
Yep.
if this is their chance, then the 800 Eldians here get to be heroes, which is funny because it's actually just a lie. When they show
Yeah.
the newspaper thing at the end,
Right.
the Eldians aren't even mentioned.
Nope.
And
Nope.
I love that that's the part where things are just,
There's the
done in
fly
that regard.
crawling on the guy's cheek already because it's like, ooh,
he
yeah.
hasn't moved in that long.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep.
And this little catch bit of the guy just full on just
Catatonic practically. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's things like this that I think are darker than the violence or the bloodshed or the
It's what it does to what all this does to the psyches
what
of
it
the
does
people.
to the mind, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But oh yeah. So this is all the setup though before the actual charge happens.
And
then
psych.
we see what it looks like for an Eldian unit to charge, And
That's right, because it wasn't enough to have them going into what's basically suicide. They had some of them wired with explosives to
Yep.
actually be suicide attackers.
Yep, to jump into the pillboxes and take out the machine guns. Which,
Yep.
yeah, guys. Yeah.
Viva la resistance. Oh boy.
I really feel like there's a lot of moments in this show where it gets really close to being edgy and stuff. But like this
But I
is,
believe this.
This is something I would totally believe
Yeah.
happening in a war where there was essentially an entire race of people enslaved
Oh yeah.
to be frontline fodder for another nation. We've done
Yeah.
some
Like-
screwed up stuff as a species, y'all.
Yeah, reality is stranger than fiction.
Yep.
And war, in the same way that when the Marleyans were like, oh yeah, newspapers, Marleyan army defeats the bad guys in this war, it's great, everyone's cheering. And then it's like, wait, no, but what about all this other stuff that happened? Yeah, well, history is written by the victors.
I also love this bit here. There's
Oh,
a couple
clutching the armband.
Yeah. It says, you hear me? This is a golden chance for you filthy hellspawn maggots to redeem yourselves and bring honor to the fatherland. So this guy here, upon hearing the redeem yourselves bit,
And bring honor to the fatherland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
specifically though the beginning bit, yeah, but like he clutches his armband as almost like he's like, no, I'm doing the right thing. My life has meaning. This
Sure.
is something where I'm helping. God.
So the
Wow.
one of the other ways to look at it too is yes, I shall bring honor to the fatherland, this country that has my people live in concentration camps. If I take this armband off ever, I could get shot or whatever. Yeah, I'm going to go give my life for the glory of my fatherland.
God damn, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So then the warrior candidates will stand by
Yep.
and basically saying that we've got a tactical situation. This is just why we can't send in the armor of the Beast Titan because of that tank.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the reveal here with Colt.
Yep.
Colt, if you intend to inherit the beast, then, we're going to need you to have the resolve befitting a commanding officer. All right. So, I love a good bit of proper foreshadowing. But one of the things that I think is rather just kind of just sad about this whole situation is you look at this kid, right?
Yep.
And does this kid look ready to
Oh God,
do
no.
essentially what Zeke does?
Nope. He doesn't. He's not that old either. Like
No.
he's older than the rest of them.
He's
but
probably older than the other kids.
he's
by
still
about
a teenager,
3 years.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say maybe 3 or 4 years older.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's probably maybe like 16.
yeah.
maybe.
Like if they're like 13, something
Yeah.
like that, then he's probably like 16 or 17.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would guess about that. And like this guy here, his job is to build, Colt up here.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point here, he's switched back to calling him his name.
Right.
And it's like, oh, the sadistic aspect of using the thing that he
Now I
is
need
able
you
to make this a personal thing. But he's like, no, now I need you to perform for me.
Right, rather than telling you to stop questioning my orders. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Gabby's like, I'm gonna be a hero.
Yeah. And then, God, this moment gets creepier and creepier the more
more you
I
look at it?
rewatch it. Yeah. Those
Earnest eyes.
this little bit of faux innocence, I'm gonna say.
Oh sure, yeah, because
Like-
you could definitely see it as her feigning it specifically to be like, I'm gonna win over Magath because I need to negotiate in order to do this.
Right.
I need to let him take my armband off.
And you see later in the scene here that she's very good at playing up this aspect of like almost appealing to the ego of
I'm the
other
good
person,
child
like,
soldier.
Yeah.
Aren't you proud of me?
Right.
I'm gonna
it feels so much like what I would assume at like some level, like every one of the kids goes through this period, but eventually all become like Reiner. Like,
Right. But
like,
Gabby's just, one, young, and
Yeah.
two, really good at it.
right. So if you're competent,
Right.
you have, you're in your earlier stages of this whole process. You get a lot of positive reinforcements. You've got all these things going there. She's like, I actually enjoy this. Like, I really like it. I'm good at it.
Yeah.
It feels to me like basically what would happen if. Oh no, that doesn't really work. But basically, it's that thing of, are we just gonna forget what's going on right here?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
she's doing this so that she can curry favor with her slavers, basically, so that she can have the privilege of becoming a super weapon.
Yep.
So that she can go kill more people who are the evil ones within her own race. Remember that meme with the Grinch? Now let all your feelings trapped inside, like, let them out. And like, I feel like Gabby just is like, just like all the other kids, they're all just one really bad day from tightening the thing around the head of one of their other kids, and then
Except the terrifying thing is that Gabby seems to have a very high tolerance.
Right, exactly.
Because, you see people like Colt or the others, or, or Falco, and it's like, okay, yeah, they you can see their more human side, right? Where their weaknesses and things like that, right? But Gabby, no. She's like, oh, well, I mean, if you want to admit that I'm worth more than 800 soldiers,
let me bring that
like,
bit up here.
I suppose,
because this part made me like legitimately like have like a wait, what? Moment. And then Magath's look here first is initially like, the reason why I can't send in the cart or the Jaw Titan
is
because they're worth so much to us. But you're worth a hell of a lot too.
Right.
Like,
you're a candidate to replace, one of the
years
Titans.
and years of like, effort and stuff like that. So like, this is not something that can be just done so casually. So it's almost like he's kind of shocked by this whole thing, and he goes like, permission denied. And
it's true. I'm gifted with talent you won't find in the likes of those guys.
Like,
oh my god.
She's leaning into it here.
Yep.
With this whole bit here, and then you can tell that Falco in the background is like,
oh my god.
Is like,
no,
wait,
you're
can
not
stop?
actually doing this.
Can you
like,
really like no?
Mm-hmm.
Na kokode, like, like, oh my god. And then
the piece de resistance.
Where's the part?
Or one so drop dead gorgeous, and it's like, okay, now you're stroking your own ego. Like, this is where you see that she also enjoys it. Like, she's hamming it up, right?
Right.
Like, she's putting on a performance for
herself
and for them.
Eldian soldiers.
Yeah.
It says, and if you fail, we lose one promising warrior candidate and 7 explosives. And the way this is the part where I had a thought. And it was basically him looking at her, and she goes, right here, watch this, guys, watch this. She says, we lose one promising warrior candidate and 7 explosives, right? And you see her face, she's like, yeah, like, She's like intense, but she's like, yeah, this is gonna work. Yeah, right. I've got this. I'm not gonna fail. But then, like, things start to shift a little bit.
Yeah. Now you can see
like the slight difference there,
like
y'all.
That bit of bloodthirst. Yeah,
that bit of like, yeah, this is gonna be good.
Well,
It's that kind of thing of a kid playing a game,
and they know they're gonna win,
and they're gonna enjoy winning.
Yep.
But it's like, so a lot of this, guys, gives me Ender's Game.
Sure.
Flashbacks, basically.
Yeah.
So for those of you that haven't read, I would recommend reading, but or watched Ender's Game. Ender's Game deals with the idea of children being brought into the army to fulfill a specific role, and it's something that leads to some really dramatic moments because they're so young.
Right.
And yet that's a benefit to the army as a whole in this sci-fi. Highly recommend watching it or reading it, preferably reading it. It has some really cool stuff that they do in it. But there's this aspect of the kids enjoying and getting the thrill of the excitement of what they're going to do in war. And it's the thing of what kind of monster encourages kids like this?
Well, yeah, just encouraging war in general is as if that's not bad enough. But having the children, the next generation, the future of humanity,
yeah.
essentially, right?
Yeah.
Even though Magath clearly doesn't see them as human beings, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's nothing about this that shows that cyclical nature of the violence.
And there's nothing like to make it a little bit darker in another way here. This was the thing I wanted to bring up, is that there's children are human beings too.
Yes.
They're not like superhuman beings or anything like that. So it's still a
and
human
not subhuman
being.
beings.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So there is this somewhat subconscious tendency because of our own desire to, I don't know, propagate the human race just in general to treat kids with that little bit of deference because we realize how vulnerable they are.
Sure,
But-
at the very least, keep them safe,
Right.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said for the fact that this is what soldiers or warriors
Or four.
are used for, regardless of their
Yep.
age or physical, accomplishments or what have you.
Oh yeah.
And there's this look we get here from Magath that just makes me go, bro, do you realize like what you're a part of? And I
Yeah,
think
he's
it's
just
this
like-
moment where,
Sounds like a good trade,
yeah, I look at this and I see a guy that's going, I'm going to look at this logically. But for some reason, every once in a while, nope.
Uh-huh.
Like
it's
you see that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and one of the things that always gets me about this scene is that, so on the one hand, whenever people question Magath, whenever any of the Eldians, the warriors, question Magath's orders, he's like, shut up, you Eldian, right? How dare you even speak to me in this way? In this situation here, he is risking. Because if, a prime candidate for being a warrior dies because of an order that he gave that was a risky order, an unnecessary sacrifice,
Right.
that would go against him, right?
Yeah.
His higher ups would probably be a little bit pissed at him. And yet, he lets her do it. Because
Yeah.
you know what? He believes in her.
Yeah, it's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she tries to put on like the googly eyes here.
Oh yeah.
And on rewatch, like this is really the part where I realized like, oh shit, this is actually way darker than I initially thought.
Yep.
He's like, if I'm worth more than 800 Eldian soldiers, then so be it. It's like, this is my lot in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, I am.
Darn.
I am one of the better Eldians.
Mm-hmm.
And then she
Yeah.
tries to, manipulate his feelings
Yeah.
here in this regard here, and it's just like.
But if you'd sacrifice 800
oh
men
my
out of love for
God.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, get going, you little shit.
Yeah.
And she does it.
Yep.
She does it.
Wow. But yeah, that whole little exchange here.
Oh,
just
it's so
took
good.
Something that's
Yep.
like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And the rest. Right. The rest.
And then the
rest of
real Gabby
kids-
comes out,
The rest of the kids are just having this look of like,
No, you're crazy.
Gabby, what?
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, what
Uh-huh.
the hell? And then she like full on just like, there it is. Like,
Yep.
There's
Mhm.
there's the face of
Uh-huh.
maybe what Marley wants really.
And if And
I mean,
like, who knows how Reiner and Bertolt and all of them started, right? But we know where Reinhardt has sort of gotten to.
Reinhardt
It's-
again.
Yeah, God fucking damn it.
We have
Reiner.
We have Bear Turtle. We have Bertolto, and now we have Reinhardt. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
You know, even in Legend of the Galactic Heroes stuff, that especially early on, I was constantly needing to be like, Reinhardt, not Reiner. Reinhardt, not Reiner. Anyways, given how Reiner has turned out,
Yes.
who knows where he started, right?
Right.
But, you know, we saw little glimpses of it. But with Gabby off to a great head start like this, you imagine what she'd be like in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of hopeful
Oh.
that Aaron will probably show up here at some point, and this whole thing won't exist eventually.
Kill all the people over there. That's hopeful.
Yeah, that's
Hopeful. Oh, man.
Gotta love it. Attack on Titan, y'all. Isn't this show great? Oh, man. Then we see a little bit of Falco, obviously having a little bit of, self-conscious aspect about her taking off her her uniform. She has permission to remove the armband.
Yep.
She does this with everyone else there. And then this is the,
Yeah.
this is the,
Mm-hmm.
the part that's just like, oh, that's
It's a good plan. You know, it's an
a great
effective plan.
But yeah, apparently this is a war crime
I wonder why.
because she's pretending to surrender,
Pretending to be a civilian.
pretending to be a civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't at all encourage certain behavior towards civilians.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, 13. They grow up so quick. She's already taking a pile of grenades to destroy a military encampment.
Just
Yep.
wow. Yeah. And while the scene is tense, well animated, the music, the way it all works out, basically, that's something that's just genius in terms of the way it's set up. But the part that's just I love so much about this is that once this whole thing happens and stuff, we have everything like from the trenches side, and they're just shocked and everything, just like
Right.
go. And Magath calls out to Galliard, which is the
Jaw.
The Jaw.
Yep.
Yeah, the Jaw Titan. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, mission is a go, but not only that, we can send in
the Jaw.
send in a Titan, yeah. And just the fact that they're so astonished that not only this worked, but they're like, whoa, oh
Okay.
my god, yeah, that was crazy.
And then she does her dance.
She does her dance
Like,
and
that's-
laughs and runs back. And again,
That's the chill.
like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
like this is
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I just slaughtered a bunch of people by making them think I was a civilian and used the fact that they didn't want to shoot an innocent person to kill them all. Now all those people over there are going to die too because I was able to do this. This is great.
yeah. This is that kind of childlike selfishness of I only am thinking really about me and
Yep.
my end result of becoming the armored Titan.
And then she
Yeah,
runs away with and not just runs away, by the way. She runs away with the wide anime arms, like, ho, I just did an awesome, boisterously running away. Like that wasn't like, haha, yeah, oh shit,
Yeah,
this is just,
exactly.
yep,
Also, I love that Falco here tries to save her, given that he had just been saved
yep.
by Colt
And it wasn't going to work.
earlier. Yeah.
He's lucky that he or both of them didn't get riddled by bullets.
Right.
But it was not him that ended up saving Gabby.
Yeah. And this is great because it puts a couple things into Falco's character that are worth considering. One, how did he get out there as a, warrior candidate by himself, in that.
Oh yeah, he was
area?
definitely not following orders. Yeah, he just did that.
Well, no. In the beginning of the episode.
Oh, gotcha.
No, obviously here he's not following orders.
Right.
I'm talking about why was he like probably concussed or something, lying on the ground there.
Yeah, maybe
with not the rest of his squad.
Yeah, he might have done something similar.
Might have done something similar, something stupid.
Yep, that is a very fair assumption.
And if this is the guy that treats the enemy, even when they get captured and stuff.
Yep.
And now he's here, saving the baka of a Gabby here.
Yep.
It's like, all right, yeah, this kid,
man,
this kid either has a death wish, which is very possible, by the way.
Sure, I can't imagine
possible.
he feels any shame or complicated feelings about being a child soldier and all the
other stuff.
All the other stuff too.
Yeah.
No, there's no way that makes him in any way emotionally confused or anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Then
hold on just a sec. Hold on just a sec.
Gonna get rid of something?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, meanwhile, I'll show the what?
Oh.
No, I'm just showing the.
Oh,
what?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Oh, sorry. I took
the
away mouse control
the mouses
from you.
are synced up. So I was like, you're like, okay, yeah, go do that, and then you go to the other mouse, and I'm like, ah.
Oh, that's funny.
Guys, no, stop, no, talking about.
You can put it in emote mode. Yeah, you can put it.
Yeah.
in emote
Okay.
mode.
I'm just gonna put it in emote mode. How do I do that?
Guys,
How do I do that? No talking about names that aren't introduced yet. Hold on just a second. I need to check to make sure there aren't any more.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. One more. There's one more. All right. Hold on.
It's no problem.
Okay.
So,
all right. Continue with the regular show.
Or Galliard here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Really, really.
Isn't this an awesome
freaky ass
Titan
looking
design?
Titan? Yeah.
Yeah. There was someone, one of the in the previous Attack on Titan podcast we did, one of the messages that I deleted was basically someone saying that their personal favorite Titan design was this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives me lion, but like skull,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
kind of
big
thing
upper
there.
torso and like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I love also just the idea of, we've seen Titans, plenty of Titans.
Yep.
But it's always something I'll never get used to of Titans reaching over and protecting,
Humans.
Mm-hmm. Because Titans are people and some people are Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love to see it. It's just a really cool bit here.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we go full action, y'all. It just ramps up to absolute like craziness.
Yeah, seeing like in this modern warfare, essentially seeing a Titan just tear people up, it's like, okay, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But then we get to the really dark part, because as if, little girl pretending to be a civilian and blowing up a bunch of people and then laughing and running away, as if that wasn't dark enough, we get this.
Yeah, this shit
We
right
get
here.
this. I'm going to turn
Turn
emote
emote
off.
off. Yeah, there you go. Okay, guys. Okay. Be good in there.
Exactly.
So,
Behave yourself.
when I first saw this, I was thinking, oh, cool, paratroopers. All right, that seems a little bit slow, given that you're also in, a Zeppelin, which is also quite slow.
And they're in straitjackets.
Well,
of
I
some
didn't notice
kind.
that, like, straight out the gate. But eventually noticed that, like, they seem to be kind of restricted in some ways.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But, oh my god. Someone told me that I predicted this in season 2 as being a thing.
You did.
I went back and tried to find it in the discussion.
I think you were predicting that it would be like that. It would be the Beast Titan like throwing them like the crunched up rock or something like that. Not an airdrop. Although you might have actually predicted it because we did see the Zeppelin in episode 20.
Well, no. So this was I believe they were saying this was a season 2 thing there. But chat, you can help me out there. I didn't end up finding out where it was.
Gotcha.
I couldn't find it in any of the discussions.
Mm-hmm.
But this just
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Get
what I
ready
would
for the bombing.
that's what I would expect.
Yep.
If I had to guess how they would use the Eldians, is I would think that they wouldn't be able to get them on the front lines
Mm-hmm.
because they couldn't brainwash that many people.
Yeah.
But in this case, we've got ones here who are like, they look so inert and just dead
Yep.
inside.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Just-
a lot of them could be drugged, you know, but the
Yeah, I could definitely see them being drugged.
like the okay, so I wanna bring something up for a second.
What do you want to focus on?
So the idea of them dropping Titans basically. So okay. Titans. They're flesh mecha basically, right? Now,
Yeah.
why does Japan have such a fixation on giant robots? Well, it's almost like in the past there were situations where monstrous machines of man were used and they were terrifying.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of crazy stuff happened as a result of this. The fact that Isayama is like, okay, how do I make it so that that's truly terrifying again? Because, you know, the world's been at relative peace for a while. You know, what do I do here to really give it that same pizzazz and oomph? Oh, I got it. I'll have a bomber drop a bunch of them. There we go.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
man. Just little Reiner appreciation.
Oh,
Look at this man.
yep. Look at that sharp jawline.
Look at that man.
Yep.
Yeah. Oops. Hold on.
Oh, wrong one.
Wrong one. There we go.
Yeah. What if we bomb them with kaiju?
All right. War continues. The charge leads to just the 800 Eldians getting slaughtered.
Yep.
Jaw Titan going nuts. But then
Cart
then
Titan.
this
Yay!
beautiful monstrosity shows up.
Beautiful monstrosity.
So
Yeah.
I want to bring up something here that I completely didn't think of until just now.
What?
But it's tactically sound that these would be the openings for the you know, the little bunkers that they've got the people in there with the guns. Now,
Yeah.
I'm assuming there are people in there with guns because if they're
Yes.
auto control,
No, there are people in there.
janky. But it's the idea that not only do they need armor, the Cart Titan needs armor, and then it's just this little like cross-sectioned out like little hole there.
Because
It's
you
like,
got to
all right,
be able to point down at the ones nearby after all. Can't let any get away.
judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
It's this is the ugly side of war, is that you took something that was already a little bit disturbing, the Titan itself, but then you just let's just stick a bunch of guns on it. It's like I want sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Oh man, I love how you're like, okay, in this episode, this is the part about war that's disturbing.
No. I mentioned all the other things too.
I know, but it's just like that's basically.
I said this is ugly.
Oh, okay, sure. There we go.
Disturbing is different.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is just what kind of ugly things that people are like, yes, we're just gonna force these things to happen because we need a tactical advantage. There's a lot of ugly things in this episode.
Oh no, I know. I just
You guys and your mutually exclusive.
no. It's
logic.
just the fact that we can have things like this in the episode, and it's just one more, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely all creative and unique in its own right, but at the same time, it's just like there's so much that this episode has to offer. Oh, and then Falco saves an enemy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this little bit with Gabby is quite interesting, given the fact that he's just saving this guy here. And she's like, wait, is this supposed to be like your shtick, your selling point? So
Right.
that
Is this
you
how
get-
you're marketing yourself?
So
yeah.
that you get,
You play by the
armor?
rules.
Yeah. And then she brings up literally these. So you'll go beyond me and shine beyond me because you'll abide by international law, which
Right.
just means like what I
Uh-huh.
didn't just do earlier.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Like,
Oh,
because she's
man.
thinking, clearly there has to be some selfish reason for why you're saving this
Yeah.
person, because there's no other reason why you do it, right?
Mhm.
Right?
And then the whole, interpret for me, Udo. Yeah, interpret for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, tell me you're gonna be fine. I stopped the bleeding. Right. Yeah.
No good
yeah.
deed goes unpunished.
No, that would be,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that would be, a problem.
Right. Because it's not just Marley that demonizes the Eldians.
Yes.
That is a very good point to bring up, because
Yep.
like in this, we're setting up this new world and everything, different nations and things like that. Of course, the Marleyans would demonize them and stuff because they have to keep them under control and everything,
Right.
and they have to justify the fact that they're keeping them in those concentration camps to keep them under control and whatnot.
God.
But no, other countries too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love the little details that they put into these scenes and stuff. In the very next bit here, we see him say the words demon,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately after that,
Gabby puts her armband back
let
on.
me see if I can frame this just right here. Let me see if I can frame this just right. You'll sully me, demon. Oh, and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically she puts the
Mm-hmm.
she puts the armband back on
Because it's
after
the
all of this
right.
stuff here. Yeah.
Because this place is the only place she has. This is her
Mm.
best bet,
Mm.
Here she can finally be free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then the
bombing.
the bombing begins,
Yep.
which we get like tons of looks at their faces as they're being like
Just
chained off, and then
yeah,
they're
just
self-deploying parachutes and everything.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's bad. And some of them have like almost like Titan-like expressions on their faces
Sure.
as they're on their way down, like this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Like he kind of does look a bit doped up,
Oh
Just
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
like what? And then
He's on something.
yeah,
And then, as if, all right, now that we've got all of the, sort of just regular war stuff out of the way, now let's show something truly terrifying. Yes, disturbing, but also just terrifying.
like I never knew how much I wanted to hear Dio scream
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
in this way.
Look up
I can't-
Simone.
I
What do
can't
you
wait.
see?
I can't wait for the memes, even though this is all kinds of screwed up. Just like I can already see how many ways this is going to be memed.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Just
Yep.
yeah.
Those lights in
Wow.
the sky are... Oh, shit, they're Titans.
Will Jacob catch up soon? Yeah. He's having a
Catch up
a manga
stream.
stream on Sunday.
On Sunday. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, hey, everything is Muda at this point.
Oh, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course the money shot. Let's get it, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. That
Like, just look at that.
just
Look at that. What? Like Titans. Like, what? Okay, so one of the things that, with Attack on Titan, the Titans were always weird looking. Like it wasn't that they looked scary in and of themselves, I feel like, but it was that the things that they did were scary, especially compared with how they looked, right? That juxtaposition, contrast, whatever you want to call it, right? But over time, as it became more flesh mecha, and Mikasa is a badass, Levi's a badass, Eren is a Titan badass, and Armin's the Colossal Titan now. But regular Titans, how do you keep them scary?
Yeah,
You do shit like
this
this.
is horrifying.
Like, huh, huh.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Then the episode basically just descends into full chaos.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans drop, munch, and then Reiner and Zeke jump
Make
in,
their entrance.
make their entrance. By the way, I just gotta say, this shot here of Reiner
Yep.
is one of the most badass types of shots, and I wanna.
It's badass, damn sexy, and keep going.
Well, you made the connection, but you know, he kind of looks like.
He looks straight up like Thorkel.
He looks like Thorkel from
Like-
Vinland Saga.
Like the goggles could basically be a headband, you know? His hair's all going up like that. He's got that, you know, that beard, you know, going on there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He looks like thin Thorkel. Like
Yep.
he does though.
And I love that while this is happening, he's like, I'm really sick of walls. Like like that's
He's like, if I smash the walls over there, will I finally be free?
there will always be cannons on top of walls. Okay, all right.
Wait. Whoa, hold on.
What?
I'm so sick of walls.
Mm-hmm.
What are Reiner's walls? Reiner's walls. Reiner's walls.
Can you shut off your feelings so you don't have to face the moral ambiguity of your violent actions?
Yeah, Reiner's walls are probably the ones subdividing the acreage in his head, so that he can actually continue to do this just fine.
Free real estate.
And yet, you know, if you think about it, just a character who's in this position, just being so damn tired of doing it.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure in some ways, actually, the jump in front of the Colossal Titan, not the Colossal Titan, the Beast Titan, that was it's probably a little bit more of a, you know, a last good thing he could do, you know?
Oh, sure. Yeah, like, because, you know, Reiner does, I was this close, but I didn't say it.
I know, right?
You can
It's
see it in
tough.
my eyes.
It's tough.
Like, Reiner has his armor, right? So it makes sense that he would be the Titan to jump in front of other people. But yeah, it is one of those things where it's like, how much do you care about you, Reiner? You know, like, maybe you should see somebody. You know, do you have any hobbies? You know, like, yeah, it's not the age, it's the miles. And this boy's seen a lot.
Seriously. Ugh.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
But
Yeah, please one of these shots hit my nape. Basically, like like
seriously.
you could totally see him saying something like that. Yep.
also just like
It's
I
so
mean,
cool.
this
Like,
this sequence of him transforming.
I know there are people that don't like how the CG is used for the Titans and everything, but one, the transformation is stellar, and I'm pretty sure it's 2D, and then it fades into the 3D stuff. But
Yeah.
nah, I don't know what y'all are talking about. The 3D was fantastic.
This stuff
Like-
looks good.
Like because this is one of the things that I actually think I prefer Armored Titan in 3D. Don't execute me, right?
You're like, don't at me.
Yeah, but hear me out.
Okay.
3D works best with inanimate objects, right? So like the walls, for instance, worked very well as 3D.
Sure.
It just makes sense, you know. They're
Okay.
these big wall things. Well, one, the hardening is the walls and all of that stuff, so it does kind of follow that it would make sense for, you know, the Armored Titan to be 3D. But it's three-dimensional. It's something on top of. It's like it's this, you know, inanimate thing. It's this shell, you know. I love it. And then just the way that the way that the fleshy parts of the Titans are drawn, like for the Armored Titan, and like when it shows them inside their Titans, so good.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
looks
definitely.
amazing.
But yeah, even though this is, you know, this is war, this is also hype as hell.
Oh yeah.
Also, just like look at this. I know Jacob, you have your armor hard on, but like
Oh,
all y'all
yes.
out there as
Uh-huh.
well, you can't tell me this doesn't look badass.
Yep.
Like
Like you. You're popping a boner looking at this. Like I know you are. There's some hardening going on in
There's some
very
hardening.
specific places.
Oh my god!
Like, yeah,
That's my secret, Annie. I'm always hard.
Pamtown.
Pamtown.
Man, I am just.
You happen to be able to.
You have a locomotive operator's license because you're about to get a train run on you.
Yeah.
I know that there are probably not going to be any parodies that catch up to season 4 of Attack on Titan in a long
Probably
time,
not.
unless they just skip to season 4.
Yeah.
But I am seriously curious how they're going to possibly parody this season.
I mean,
Like,
you just abridge
I mean, it's
it.
the internet, of course they will.
Well, yeah,
sure,
But you
yeah,
just
yeah.
Abridge it.
But
you know?
like, oh man, oh.
And it seems like everyone in chat is all like, yeah, we all are. No, look at you, yeah. It really helps me with all my hardening experience.
You think we'd try to deny that, Jacob? Yeah.
Reinhard, you know. Oh
This
my
pic
God.
was literally used as a promotional poster in Japan. I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe
looks
Mm-hmm.
so good. Driz DeGios, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for 17 months in a row.
Yes,
thank you.
thank
Thank you.
Pound Town forever, bro. Yep. Uh-huh.
But what if I don't want to do any more Pound Town? You know?
Nope. Always Pound Town.
Oh,
Yep.
dang.
Mm-hmm.
So then the action continues. He picks up a freaking like train
Yep.
tank thing.
Uses it as a shield and then spins it around as a weapon. Like, what?
Wow. Ridiculous. Then
Then Zeke comes down.
Zeke comes in,
Mm-hmm.
grabs all the
Because seeing him just turn the survey core to mist with gravel, that wasn't enough. How could we make the Beast Titan scarier? What if when it did its thing that made all the blood go, what if there were also explosions? I love it.
Oh my god. And I love also that when he throws the shells and everything
Mm-hmm.
and he sends it down, they're like already firing.
Right.
It's
right.
like this thing
like
of,
they were
like-
ready for this.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I guess the fort's fallen. You're free to cut loose, open fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet. And there's that one that doesn't have the armor. You know.
Just this, huh? And like,
right.
like, of all the times we've had Zeke just kind of, you know, around.
Yep.
Like, this was one of the moments that just made me, like, genuinely be like, wait, I've never heard you make a sound like that ever before.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
Like, I have to assume on some level he's like, wait, you guys, like, actually, like, are gonna fire? Like,
Right. I love seeing Zeke get surprised. You know,
Really?
like when Levi shows up
Oh,
and
yeah.
just turns him into salami, right? It's like, okay, yeah, that's awesome.
This
This
Titan sashimi,
exactly. You
hair
know,
included,
yep.
or fur.
But like this is another one of those moments. And of course, you know, Reiner ruins it by stepping in like Chad.
Damn.
But, you know, yeah.
All right. And then we have the war's bad, okay, kind of bit here. Ships are destroyed. Get the exposition
Mm-hmm.
regarding
wins.
Marley. Wait,
It's
where
great.
is the war? Is
Maybe that
it was
was
a little bit before.
maybe that was when they were still in the airship.
Oh yeah, here it is. Here
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. War's bad, don't you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before he goes and grabs the shells and hurls them at the fleet.
Right.
Yeah.
This was just one of those moments where I was like, I can't tell if this line is genius or awkward as hell, because
Mm-hmm.
it's basically like he's so callous to it
Right, he's
that
joking
his delivery
basically.
is basically like, yeah, war's bad, huh? It's like,
Yep.
dude, and just the way
Reiner's
the way
looking at him
Reiner's
almost
looking at him like,
bro.
what the hell is your problem,
bruh. Like,
Like, and your point is like,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
He's like he practically looks like he's like, how do you like my superhero landing? And he's like, bruh, you don't just show off. Like,
Yeah, you're trying too hard.
you're trying too hard. Yeah,
Yep,
exactly. But yeah, war sucks. Yeah, but here you are, Zeke. You know. Yeah. All right. Then we get the propaganda side of things. Oh, gotta do it this way.
Yep.
It's just for us to have good safety on our Twitch channel, so that
Exactly.
you don't have any issues with that. We have the Middle Eastern Federation would sign a peace treaty with Marley following the loss of its fleet. 4 long years of war ended with Marley's victory. That the power of the Titans alone. Oh wait, what was this?
Oh,
The
yeah.
world is learning that the power of Titans alone is no longer enough to rule over all.
Right.
Marley knows it has no time to waste in reclaiming the founder.
And there's that tie-in of like, hey, this is the relevance of all of this compared to the rest of the story. Eren is, the linchpin of everything basically because he's got that Titan inside him.
Yeah, and then this
Yep.
part here. Thanks to the Marleyan army's courageous actions.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that was so courageous when you had the little girl, pretend to be a civilian and blow
Or-
up the place,
or
when you,
use just
shipped,
Eldians,
dropped drugged up Eldians to turn them into Titans and stuff over the enemy. Oh, that was so courageous. Or when you had the 800 Eldians just sort of run into the machine gun fire. Yeah, that was so courageous.
And this is, I would
Eat
say,
it up.
Yeah, this is, I would say, the genius bit of the closed story of this first episode here. There's a couple things that they're setting up, mostly with the kids and stuff, but this is basically this is who Eren and company basically are going to be fighting up against.
Yep.
You're okay with that. You'd like to see these guys lose. Right?
Oh my God.
Right? And that's that thing with Attack on Titan where it'll just make you maybe doubt a little bit. Oh, don't look. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
don't look.
It'll just make you doubt a little bit of whether you should be rooting for either side.
Yep.
Well, definitely not Marley. Definitely not Marley. But can we root for the cute kids?
Exactly.
in the
It's
group there?
okay. Even if we're not rooting for Marley, that doesn't necessarily mean we want like all those kids to die and everything.
Right,
like that's
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then
Yeah.
hold on, I gotta do it this way. Yep. And there's only one more thing we focused on. Get this new character here.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of a guy actually in The Expanse, weirdly
Oh, yeah?
enough. Yeah, this kind of detective guy
I always thought he looked kind of like Kenny.
does kind of look like Kenny. So let's see if we can get the best shot of him possible. I guess this is about as good as we're gonna get. But I like that we have a little bit of mystery here. Like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just in general, like, yeah, like I don't recognize the character. But then again, there's been a time skip. There's a lot of a lot of characters out there that maybe this could be someone that's connected to the episode 20 flashback or something like that. There's a lot of just general faces and stuff that we saw back then, even though that most of them ended up becoming Titans and stuff. And
Well,
went back then
this
and
is
stuff.
this is a whole new world. So it's like we got, other than Reiner and Zeke, we got nothing but new characters this episode. So
Yep.
yeah.
Definitely, I like the Kenny connection there. It kind of fits, but I think that's more just the hat.
Yeah, the hat covering
face
the
and
eyes with
stuff.
the sort of like dirty blonde hair going down the back.
Yeah,
A little bit of, stubble.
a little bit of stubble and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the almost like mullet hair and stuff like that. There's that little bit of Reiner sans the mustache
Sure.
stuff as well. But okay. A citizen that's maybe not as bought into the bullshit, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the episode. But then,
And
we
we
get
the ED.
y'all.
Oh man,
And the ED
I love the
has
ED.
like a couple things that feel like a bit too like specific in the design of the imagery.
I love the choices for the imagery. Like it's so
Yeah.
cool because like EDs, I feel like because EDs in general hold a special place in my heart because the OPs kind of have a very direct purpose that they need to serve. You know, they've got to hype you up and get you ready for the episode and things like that and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whereas the EDs, oftentimes, I feel like are that sort of just contemplative breather to just
Right.
be like, hey,
Yeah.
if you don't want to rush into the next episode, just sit for a minute and let this piece wash over you, and just think about this. You know, think about this show,
Yeah, exactly.
and yeah,
And the lyrics.
Mhm.
Won't someone please tell the world I was here? We had a phoenix, Jacob.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I will live on after my bones have turned to dust, which I love. Love the idea that that's like something that it is basically kind of like the themes of paths, basically, with the
Oh,
idea
uh-huh.
of the the life of our like
That
life
will go on.
going on beyond death or something like
right.
that.
Yeah, it's that representation of the generational progression, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a couple things in here that seem a bit too specific in the imagery. And I'm like, this is like season 3, part 1, end credits, you know,
Yeah.
enhance, zoom in.
I will tell you, there's it's not like that.
Yeah. I'm not.
But go for it.
I'm
Go
not
for
gonna
it.
believe anything you say, anyways.
Uh-huh.
So, this first thing here is kind of like, oh, cool. It's like a whole bunch of, well, little.
Looks like a pine cone. Like
Well, yeah, it looks kind of like a plant of some kind, like a tree or something like that. But it also has that little look of all these little lights are all a bunch of people, all connected back to a an original kind of
Right.
point and stuff.
but they're all on their own journeys, kind of a thing.
Right, but if you combine that with the next image here that seems
Mm-hmm.
to be very similar, let's wait for it here. It's coming up. We've got like some swirly stuff here.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we have this bit here.
Right.
And this bit, yo.
hmm
Like this gets my theory stuff going. So we have what looks like a child, basically, someone small, approaching a portal door of light or something like that. But this light begins to take shape. It begins to take shape. And what should it seem to form into but kind of like a tree?
Yep.
Yeah. And I kind of want to go out on a limb here
hmm
because I'm a big fan of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
But this is very like Yggdrasil, like
Sure.
mythic, world tree, source of all things, binds it all, and there's some potential ways in which we could get into some mythos, some crazy fundamental stuff, So yeah. That's just one of those things where it's like, ooh, was das?
Hold on just a sec.
Yeah, go for it. I'll live on after my bones have turned to dust. And then, hold on, let me...
No messages to me either, guys. So just as a reminder. Hold on.
I mean, just put it in emote mode if people
Yeah.
are doing this again.
I'll just do that.
This is just
It's-
one of those things where we'll have to make sure if we do this again, we have mods that are ready for it.
Yep.
In fact, if anything, if you're in the Attack on Titan like manga like Attack on Titan like manga channel or something like that. Maybe message you or something like that about potential mods
sure,
for like
yes.
not just your stream that's coming up,
Uh-huh.
but like if we ever do any more of these.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. So yeah, guys, reach out to Jacob over Discord with regards to that, if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, as far as the reasoning for, some of those last ones, yeah, even, if I am doing a poker face for anything, it kind of ruins it if you point out that I'm doing a poker face. So, yeah.
Yeah. But this stream was something that was kind of a test to see if this was something that you guys would like, and then if we would enjoy doing it. And we found out the main problem is, of course, moderators and stuff need to be ones that are, ones for Attack on Titan, because we don't want to, do it with moderators that are like intentionally saving Attack on Titan to be watched or
sure.
something like
or
that.
they're like, I haven't seen Attack on Titan. I don't know it's a spoiler. Yeah,
Right. Exactly. But yeah, if we did this just in general in like future podcast streams or something like that, let us know with like a the Caleb hey yeah emote.
Yeah.
Put that one in chat if you're up for that. I see a lot of the general positive stuff there there as well, but I want to see just like tons of that emote just coming straight down there, so I know that this is actually like something you guys would be good for doing for again with like episode 2. Okay, now it's starting to cue in. But Jacob, what are your thoughts about this as a thing? What would you change or do differently?
As far as this, I don't know. I think this went pretty well. And all things considered, y'all were actually fairly civil. I just love that we're at this point. Like the fact that I'm hearing you talk about Gabby and Falco
that's a
and
sub emote. I just realized I asked everyone to use a sub emote.
I mean,
I'm
you
dumb.
should still totally be subbed, right? Everyone do that if you want this extra content. That's the only way it will work.
Wow. Twitch Prime, no.
No, but seriously, Twitch Prime. Yeah.
That's funny. All right, you can take it off emote.
Yeah, but just the fact that we got you talking about Gabby and Falco and McGath and Colt and everybody. Like that's
awesome.
That feels really good.
Oh, I'm glad.
That feels really good.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Did we listen to the whole ED? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. It was just one of those ones there where the ED was a little bit shorter though. So I'm almost like hoping if there's like
I
in
don't
the next
know.
ones that it was we get ones that are a little bit longer. It's about 45 seconds.
Gotcha.
So like the ED starts right about here.
Oh, that's right, because it starts a little bit in the episode, I think.
Well, the credits start playing.
Right, but I think that might be something. Yeah. So
the music is playing as well.
Well, right, but because of that, it might be something where the ED normally starts with a credit start, maybe, and then then we'll get more visuals, or maybe this is all the visuals.
it's about exactly 90 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh man.
No, I'm not getting a tie-dye shirt for the OP. No. No. Mm-mm.
Actually, like, not even joking, y'all. Jacob and I were talking about like if we had ever made a merch style like shirt or something like that.
Yeah. So
this is what it would be. Yeah, tell him what we came up with.
Basically, be like, I'm a manga reader, and then
or
maybe
I read the manga.
I read the manga and like some kind of graphic, because people still ask. They're like, Jacob seems like he's seen this before, like Jacob's certainly like.
We're like, we should just make a shirt.
So that
it's just Jacob, and it just shows him with a guy with glasses pushing up and they're glowing, and it just says, I read the manga.
Right, because we're convinced that that's the only way, like, we'll get people to actually consistently, and even when we say consistently, we mean like 95% of the time.
Right, it's
because you can never get a perfect 100.
It's like the like-dislike ratio.
Yeah.
As long as it's 95% or above,
right.
Most of everything is okay. But, people will still be like, and that's the other thing, people will, like, mix up our names even at times. So it'll be like, wait.
Like Caleb seems to have read the manga.
I'd be like hanging out with y'all in Twitch chat, and people will be like talking about like, Attack on Titan reaction stuff. It's like, has Caleb read the manga? And it's like, I mean, have you seen any of our other reactions? I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, because the idea was sort of like the I'm with stupid, I'm stupid, you know, or
Right,
like,
right.
or both having them and pointing the other direction, right?
Yeah.
But instead, it's just like, yeah, Chad, manga reader, virgin anime watcher.
Yeah, you could do the I read the manga and then the no spoilers please shirt.
Ah, yes, there we go.
Those are both
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
useful.
I read the
shirts.
manga, anime only, no spoilers, please.
And the thing is that every single time people are like, "Wait, for what though?" And you're like, "For it, you know,
Everything.
for everything." Like,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
This is an all-encompassing.
that thing you're thinking of, that.
Yeah,
Don't say that.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Protect the virgin anime only. So
Indeed. No, see, Virgin Eyes is too ambiguous.
right.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
People wouldn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which manga did you read? All of the manga.
I read every manga. Yeah.
No, this was just a dumb idea though. But it was something where I was like, wait, if we
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
ever had shirts like
And then we just wear them for specific times because,
Right.
you know, you've seen us wear
Perfect.
T-shirts that are relevant to the shows
Right.
that we're talking about, but giving a PSA about
Mm-hmm.
the shows that we're reacting to.
on the shirts. Wow.
It's
and
for
it's
real
also
estate. Like-
it's also like potentially advertisement.
No,
you know?
it basically is. Like, it's advertisement, but then also sort of billboard communicating something potentially helpful and informative.
Right, that would be really funny. And then they're like, wait a minute. So is that referring to each other though?
Or no, they it's a coincidence. They aren't necessarily talking about Attack on Titan. Oh man.
I read the manga, not I read the manga. It's a very different meaning. You know?
Yes,
Present tense
yes.
versus past tense, yeah.
Right. Yeah, index cards on the foreheads. There you go. There you go.
Oh my god, that would be actually a really funny game though to just play with anime specifically. Is just have anime characters on everyone's heads and do that.
Sure.
And then the main issue is just that you would have to do it in like a Discord call where you didn't look at your screen ever.
Right.
That was get the camera there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that would work.
Or you just wait till the human malware's done.
Wow. Yeah, guess who?
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, Irwin cosplay. It's,
Ah.
I mean, you have both your arms still, so
That's
and you're
true.
alive. Like,
yeah.
we go method with our cosplay.
Yeah, and since all the One Piece, dramatic readings and stuff, I have had a little bit of my voice go away, just in general.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can do that sort of, Daisuke Ono voice.
No, I probably would have trouble doing the Daisuke Ono screams. Is more.
You,
what
you
I'm
try to
talking
do an
about.
Irwin rousing speech, and it comes out as, "All right, guys, let's go stop the Titans and reclaim our freedom."
Jesus. Oh man. Well, okay, guys, you liked this? That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be seeing about maybe doing this again next week.
Yeah.
So tell your friends, tell everybody. Like,
Because
we do
one Attack on Titan
Attack on
stream a
Titan.
week isn't enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's Sunday. I'm going to be catching up to the manga.
Yeah, so unique stuff with regards to streams this week
Mm-hmm.
is, guys, I am transitioning to a new game on Friday because
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out. But remember, all our streams are at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday to Friday, except for this week where Jacob on Sunday.
I'm going to be catching up to the Attack on Titan manga. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic.
And it is going to be at what time?
It's going to be at 3 p.m., just like the rest of ours,
Okay.
Pacific time,
All right.
And I left right off at the part where, yeah. So,
Where, yeah.
yep.
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
pretty sure that communicated it clearly.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be crazy. There are a lot of chapters. So that'll be interesting.
Cool.
But,
So
yeah.
join in with him on that Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys can
tell your friends.
basically
it's
while
gonna be
you're
great.
waiting for the reaction to be done editing, for episode 2.
Yeah.
I guess at the time.
Yeah.
Then
we,
yeah,
we
you can-
totally just decided it randomly, like while recording the discussion,
Yeah.
and then we didn't realize. Wait a minute, that's like gonna be like around the
same
time
day.
when the reaction
Right.
to the other episode comes out. So yeah,
it'll give us plenty of time.
it's
plenty.
gonna be fine. What sleep? We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
sleep. What?
Yeah, I'm not gonna randomly do 2 hours of discussion.
I definitely didn't wake up at 3:30 this morning. So
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But all our other streams, podcasts on Monday, which might be for a while Attack on Titan discussions.
depending on how it goes,
Depending how it
you
goes.
never know.
Tuesdays are One Piece dramatic manga readings where we read one volume of One Piece per week, and we have dramatic voices attached
Indeed.
to them. They are quite cringe and amazing.
And
at the
maybe a
same
little
time.
bit sexy. I don't know.
Oh my, yes. But check that out if you're interested. Wednesdays and Fridays are my gaming stream days. On Wednesday, I'm finishing up Hades. On Friday, I will be starting Cyberpunk 2077.
And then on Thursday, I'm gonna be playing Persona 4 Golden.
Ooh, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
You heard that right.
Yep.
Yes.
So check those out. Leave a follow, stay up to date, and all that. If you do sub Twitch Prime, you will get access to a magnet little sub badge, but also access to our private Discord where you can chat with the community there about Attack on Titan. There's a manga and anime specific channel in there for spoiler related discussions. So check that out if you're interested. And yeah, we'd appreciate the support. But take care, guys. We'll see you all in the next one. But until then, we're a semblance of sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time. Oh man, we're here. Like we're
Yep.
Yep. I'm so glad Gabby is getting the love she deserves.
We
Like,
will be trying to upload reactions to Attack on Titan episodes
Yes.
the same day that we record them. Guys.
it's a bit crazy to do, so you know,
But yeah, just shout out to the editor on the Discord
because he is an absolute.
You bump into him.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
Swagayama or Swags
Yep.
on Discord. Yeah.
Susume as Luffy, it would make us so happy.
Okay. Sure.
Susume! Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. That was fantastic.
Sasageo! All right, that's my best one there.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
giving
That's a
giving
good
it my
place to
all.
end it. Yep. Yep. Also, yeah, VOD channel battle lines and all that stuff. Exclamation mark BL and exclamation mark VOD and all that stuff for the info and chat.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.